Good morning, Dojo Nation. Sorry I missed you here for a little bit. I took a trip down to Oklahoma to Mr. Chris Pullman's school, did some seminars using the power paddle system I've been playing around with. We had a blast. What a great group of people he has down there, students. You know, when we talk about culture and how that's really our own asset, Mr. Pullman has just done a magnificent job of building his culture down there. He has some of the finest people. I mean, they're really good martial artists, but they're just really good people. It's a joy. It's one of those schools that gives you energy just to be in the room. And we had a blast. So, one thing I was thinking about, I had a lot of time because I drove down there and back. I had to get rid of a car I wanted to sell down there, and then I bought one and drove it back up. So I had some time on the road. I got to thinking about the martial arts community. I don't call us really a profession and industry. I think we're a community. We're very diverse community, of course. And we've got some really good people, and we've got some kind of knuckleheads like all communities do. And what kind of constitutes a knucklehead? Well, I was having a conversation with somebody. I think it might have been Chris, actually. And over the years that I've seen this, we've got such fine people that are working as mentors. I'm afraid to mention anybody because I'll leave somebody out, but people like Dave Kovar, he's the gold standard of character integrity in our industry. If we're going to elect a president, he'd be our guy. Professor Beliso's out there all the time trying to help people. Melody Schumann, Roland Osborne. See, I'm going to go down this list and I'm going to miss somebody, but there's some really good people. Now, over the years, we've had some knuckleheads come in, and they come in, and there's still some in here. They usually kind of cycle through. They become the big thing for a while, and then they're gone. We've seen some of that happen recently. So what do we need to look out for? And I got to thinking, it really comes down to, I named them. What do you think of that? IAGs. And they kind of have those three qualities that combine to really make a problem. And the first is the I, that's insecurity. These people, for the most part, are insecure. One was a guru who had failed 100% in everything he'd ever done in martial arts, but was still teaching people about martial arts. The A becomes the arrogance. They have a little bit of success, usually after massive failure, and instead of having a grateful attitude, they get an arrogant attitude. And then it turns into the G, the greedy. Greedy people want more, and they even want yours. They don't want two successful people in the room. They want one person with all they can get. So when we're looking at some of these people, are they Dave Kovar, who would do anything to help you? Or are they some of these people who could fall into the category of IAG? Insecure, arrogant, greedy people. We all have a little insecurity. We all have some arrogance. I would hope that can become a positive ego, and we all want to be successful and have some abundance. But when you combine all of those three into that one element, it makes for people that I certainly don't want in my life. And I've deleted, blocked, as Professor Poliso says, I've deleted and blocked several of them. He says delete, block, and love. I'm not that kind of guy. I'll delete them and block them. So as you're looking around, ask yourself, is this person a giver or a taker? Is he a good person, or is he an IAG? Wish we could tattoo him. So hey, the other thing I want to start doing here is giving little tips that I've done over the years. They may help you, may not. Things that I've found that have really helped in the daily operations, especially for owner-operated schools. So one of the things we did a few years back, and I'm bringing it back again, with everybody's banging around in Facebook, so we're going to get back into the direct mail. Christopher Pirelli does a lot with it. So one thing we did years ago when we're doing it again is send out these EDDM cards, Every Door Direct mailings. It's part of the U.S. government program. You can look it up, Every Door Direct mailings. They're incredibly inexpensive to do. Unlike a regular postcard that you would send out and it goes to a main distribution point and then it shoots out over an entire zip code, you can target which streets these things go down. You actually print them, you get the printings, you have to divide them up into there's a little work you have to do. And then you take them to the post office. The post office gives it directly to the mailman on that street, and they're in their hands the next day. It's amazing. So to step it up one step further, what we did is, and you can make these things huge. You can make them as big as a piece of paper. So what I've done, and we're doing it again, is go out and find some businesses that want to co-advertise with you. And then you guys can divide the cost of something that's not very expensive to start with. So let me see, I don't know if this is going to work or not. Can you see it? So this is the rough draft. It's going to the printer today, or the graphic artist today. We have 4 businesses. I just put 2 on here for the purposes of laying out design. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4 businesses will be on there. And then across the back, we'll have the information. You have a call to action, all that sort of stuff. So I can get 10,000 cards printed for $2,500. For $1,000. I can get 10,000 printed for $1,000. It will cost me $2,500 for the mail outs. And I figured $500 for my time and some money for a graphic designer. So that comes up to $4,000 divided by 4 people. It's $1,000 a piece. We're going to shoot these out in bundles of 2,500. So it'll cost me $250 to send out 2,500, which is 10 cents a card. And we're going to target all the areas where our students live, the streets around them. We're going to send out 2,500 every week for a month. If it hits the way we want it to, then we'll continue on. But that's what we're going to shoot out here for our promotion for this month. It's an inexpensive way to do it. So that's my little tip. We will see you later. Keep going. Watch out for the IAGs. Have fun. Oh, I'm sorry. I know what I want to talk about quick before we got off here. In May of next year, Melody Schumann, the best, is doing her event, her live event in down the Tampa Bay area, St. Petersburg. It's called MegaCon Escape. I took some of my students there a couple of years ago. Quit bugging me, robocallers. I took some of my young staff down there 2 years ago when they had it. It got them so fired up. They got a chance to train on the beach in a tent. They got to hang around with other martial arts kids their own age. They come back. They still are. They're still here. They're still my best instructors. This year, we're going to run a couple of inter-school tournaments. I'm going to have these guys. We're going to have special days where they come in and do private lessons. We might even do a little fundraiser because I want to take as many of these kids as I can take down there. She's bringing in this kid, Clayton Maxey, who's terrific with other kids. And that's really what we want to do is motivate these young instructors. I'll be at the beach bar, and there's 2 beach bars, so this is twice as good for me as most of them. But if you can make arrangements to bring some of your people down there with you, I highly recommend this thing. There's, of course, great business seminars will be had by the people, but for mine, there's nobody else doing something like this for the kids out there, for the assistant instructors. So I suggest you give it. I'll put a link to the thing down below. And by the way, if you'd be so kind, can we share this around and like the darn thing? I guess that's what my internet guy keeps telling me to do. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.